Here show you right here of talking about wallpaper right here, and we all know that whenever you're going to be looking at the web browsers, right, and thinking as toward okay, yeah, that with most of the time with web browsers that you have that to where that you can go ahead and look at the plugins and then extensions and anything else that you see available right here. But it sure seems that way that you have right here is the wallpaper right here. So this right here is a wallpaper display right here, and that I of course Photoshop work, right? But still that you see this right here was placed in the background, and so that's why it seems like that that whenever you do look at that in 102, that okay, yeah, that you're able to set that on your own desktop computer, right? And I'm like, oh yeah, on your system. And so a lot of times it's like that every time I do think about that in 102, that okay, yeah, you're gonna go ahead and set a background right there, and it has to be that the source of resolution, of course, has to be up to at least, yeah, that the file size, of course, has to be measured up to at least 35 so pixels, but still, on the other hand, that you're able to set the document to where it will be displayed in the background right here, for as for wallpaper design right here, right? So it's like, yeah, so if I'm going to be typing in the search bar right here, and you see right here these options right here talking about for Facebook, of course, there's yeah, AT&T sales careers and Best Buy careers right here, and Amazon.com right here. So you see these, these search options right here, but then you also see right here that this wallpaper right here, like so this little background right here, it shows right here's yeah, the desktop image that I have set right here. So it's like, yeah, that so whenever you're going to be looking at this in 102, that for any reason that if you're going to be working in front of yeah, if you're going to be doing work maybe like on maybe two or three different computers in 102, that if it's really a good idea to have like any sorts of wallpaper set like that, with your own image, that way you'll be able to tell, okay, yeah, that that right there, especially if you're going to be working at a personal computer for sure, that you will be able to see that you'll be able to see something like this to where that you had this view right here, this wallpaper right here, and of course the weather right here, but then there's also the search tab right here. So it's like, yeah, so you can go ahead and look at do a Google search right here. But you see this right here, like, yeah, add sites right here. So you have Walmart.com right here and Amazon.com and eBay right here. But it's like, you're one to know too that whenever it comes to learning about these different web browsers right here and thinking as to where that just understanding about exactly about how is it that they're working, right? And you likely want to know too that whenever it comes to understanding about how is it that they're working, that like 102, that okay, yeah, that if you're going to be at your own personal computer, then a lot of times that you may or may not even sign out of your account. You're just going to go in and just close the tab right there. So it's like each time you think about that in 102, that if you're going to be working at your own personal computer for sure, that you're going to go ahead and just have it to where you just go ahead and close out of it and go ahead and open it back up, and then you're already signed in, and and it's all ready to go, right? And so it sure seems that way that number one, your device would need to be recognized, of course, just for a lot of this stuff right here, a lot of that the options right here to where you can actually have access to a search tab right here. But I just want to show everybody here that this right here, this wallpaper design right here, because I know that whenever I was checking it out, I was also thinking too that yeah, that if you want to go ahead and do that, so that way you could go ahead and set like a background to where that if you're going to go ahead and run a web browser on your computer here, and just work to where just to kind of give it like what you call if you reckon, I'm like, yeah, because so like with me though, that most of the time with a lot of these designs, by the way, it's like you're going to go ahead and set this right here, but I normally have it set as my desktop view, but everybody else might even say that that you go ahead and maybe set that to where you can go ahead and set that for your wallpaper display background right here for that for the for the web browser. And so any other plugins and extensions that you want to add to this as well. But at the time you're always want to know too that yeah, that for any reason that you would want to go ahead and have a certain background set like that. But still, that so you have right there is it, and then you have right here Messenger right here, and so it's like yeah that so when we do speak about a lot of stuff right here, you have right here the enter the search or the web address right here, and so it sure seems that way a lot of times that whenever you're going to be using a web browser though, that you're warned to where that okay yeah that you see this right here to where you have these different windows, these different tabs that are going to be open right here, and so yeah, sync. And then I know, like, yeah, what does sync pretty much mean? Well, that pretty much means that you're searching for your recent history, along with anything that you saved or any websites that you visited from earlier, something like that. But still, it you have right here, yeah, welcome to Oprah, and so you have right here that yeah. So so whenever I was using this right here, I was actually using it mainly so I can connect it to like if it's yeah Google and maybe Walmart and also Amazon. So yeah, it's another web browser, and I know if most of us have heard of like Firefox, or if we've heard of yeah, Internet Explorer and other search engines, web engines, and you'll want to know too that what exactly are plugins, and so it's like yeah, if, most of us have heard of eBay, right? So let's just say that a plugins and extensions are pretty much as to where you have access to them, even though that if you don't have the program installed, it's another way of how you can go directly to that site, and then yeah, so it's like if most of us know what a mobile app is, right? But still. So if you see this right here, a type of for Messenger, right? But yeah. So it's like kind of like icons, but still that another way of how you can go directly to those websites without having to type in at the web, the World Wide Web URL link, each and every time. And like anybody say is to where that just to kind of make it a little bit more convenient, or like everybody else would say too, that's just another way of how you want to call for a learning experience. And so each time I think about that in 102, that yeah, that you know you want to go ahead and maybe change the background right here to where you want to go ahead and maybe pick one of your favorite pictures, or maybe one of your favorite artifacts, and set that for the background right here. But you see right here that yeah, I got Instagram, and then all these other yeah for the bookmarks, but still, it when we're talking about web browsers, though, most of the time, that when we do think about a web browser, though, that you're always thinking too that yeah, you set one as your default web browser, and 102 that yeah, that whenever you do use these different web browsers, that yeah, especially if you're trying to download a file, or maybe if you're trying to share something, that you might see a few of the different menu options and everything. So this right here, yeah, that the camera right here, yeah, snapshot, and so a lot of times it's like and so if you're trying to go to an account like through social media, and go to your Instagram account or Google account or Messenger, that you would locate these tabs right here on the left side, right? So it sure seems that way, that each time we do speak about that in 102, that yeah, that number one, though, that you're always warned toward, okay, by what system on default are you using? And really, do you really have to sign in all the time, each and every time, when it comes to navigating from account to an account right there? And so what you can do, of course, is that you can go ahead and yeah, use a badge, of course, but then there's also another way to where you can go ahead and set that to on your browser, to where that if you are using your own personal computer, that you can go ahead and arrange that to where you can go to that website, and then you're automatically are signed in right there. But like everybody else might say that, yeah, well, really, that you really would want to do that if you're at your own personal computer, or if anything on a trusted system, right? So a lot of times you're always thinking too that yeah, that whenever you do sign into your account in 102, that okay, yeah, that what exactly, yeah, if you're going to be joining a meeting or something like that, maybe if it's a Zoom meeting or maybe on Skype or some site like that, and 102, that yeah, if you're able to join a meeting just by the invite, and 1 it is toward okay, yeah, that you're able to connect this how, but still. But I'll go and show everybody here that this right here, these are these tabs right here. But I'll go and show everybody here that yeah, that's a speed tab. But yeah, the welcome page right here. And what I can go ahead and do is that just show everybody here that so these right here are these yeah, video call pop-ups, and the pin boards, and so this is just another page, like yeah, the WhatsApp bar right there. So what things that you can download, and you got the welcome right here, and then you got the sync files right here. So really though, a lot of time, like yeah, stream media private, and so you have this option right here to where you can go ahead and you have access. I'm like yeah, download the Opera right here. So it's like every time we do think about that, and at 1.0 is that what web browser are you going to be using whenever it comes to going to a certain website. And let's just say that while you're on here, that you're going to go ahead and navigate to maybe check out, maybe if it's car insurance, or maybe if you're going to be doing shopping around and maybe going to a site like Best Buy, or maybe if you're going to be going to yeah, going to yeah, shop on Amazon.com, and that is why it sure seems that way. That yeah, maybe not everybody's really going to know how all this works. So the best way, it seems like, just to be able to get started though, is of course to just know exactly as to where okay, whenever this opens right here, that this is going to be the first thing that you see right here, is that you see the wallpaper background right there, and just just to kind of be familiar with a little bit more about what you're working with, right? But a lot of times it's like not everybody's really going to understand what a plugin and an extension is. So it's like you're always having to think about as toward it. Yeah, what would be a good example of a plugin and extension? Well, it's like an icon command, right? To where you no longer have to worry about typing that in to the search bar all the time. You can go and just add that. So it's like an adapter that you can use just to take you directly to their website, to the company's website, right? So let's just say if it's companies, or if it's yeah, for so you have these tags, right? Yeah, you have these apps and extensions, right? But it sure seems that way that whenever you first start using this, for sure, I'm like, yeah, I'm sure most of us have heard of eBay and Amazon, but it's like each time you look at that in 102, that yeah, you don't really use it too much of the time, but if you click on that, would that take you directly to the website, or what exactly does that do? Well, it will take you directly to the website right there, and like everybody else would say, is that yeah, it will take you there, but then of course signing in and signing out, of course, is really pretty complicated. So it sure seems that way. That yeah, that but still. And I'll even tell everybody, yeah, you can change the background and everything right here. But I thought I'd go and show everybody here, just like an example right here of an extension right here, in case of anybody that really didn't know what that was. But anyway, but just talk about right here about that, the tabs and everything. But it sure seems that way that when we do speak about plugins and extensions, though, and want to know that okay, yeah, you got that set right there as for wallpaper in the background, your desktop view right there, and thinking as to where okay, yeah, the desktop view, and just thinking as to where okay, for any reason why you have it set like that. You got the year right there, but anyway, but on the other hand, it's like, yeah, well, really, if it's not all yours, then, but like, say, anybody might even say that, yeah, well, while you're working right here, and people might say that, yeah, well, that's your design right there in the background, right? So known as toward, yeah, that's gonna, show up in the background, on the web browser, but still. But the way I think about it, I learned about basics about understanding about the web browser.